What's going on, everybody? It is I, the franchise here, and this right here is my preview show for NXT Stand and Deliver, taking place this Saturday. I know I don't talk about NXT a lot, but I do pay attention. I do watch it as often as I can. They have a lot of promising things that I'm going to talk about on here, particularly with the last two matches that I have on this card. As y'all know how I like to do the preview shows, is I like to talk about, go from my least interested to the match that I'm more like the match that I'm very interested in. So with that being said, it's going to be a quick preview show because they only have 5 matches, but let's dive right into it with the NXT tag team titles on the line. As of right now, as I'm recording this, they have not determined the winner of the tournament. So we do not know who will be facing Braun Breaker and Baron Corbin. But I will say I am heavily convinced that this is the send-off for Braun Breaker. I think Braun Breaker is going to officially be done with NXT and show up on Raw, or not Raw, he's going to show up on SmackDown and wreak havoc. He has the potential to just be a monster. I mean, if you pair him with the right person, I know they've teased the ideal of him being a Paul Heyman guy. It all depends on what happens with Roman Reigns in the future. But I can definitely see Braun Breaker as a Paul Heyman guy. He just has it. He has everything about it. And even if he doesn't go to be the Paul Heyman guy, he can just be a monster amongst himself. You know, I don't see anything where his potential will phase out or fizzle out or anything like that. I think that he is the future for the business. And I don't really know what they're going to do with Baron Corbin. I don't really know. I can see potentially this being Baron Corbin's kind of final run with the WWE. Unless he does a whole, I think he's one of the only stars that have had character changes, a lot of character changes. You know, we had Happy Corbin, then we had Corbin when he was rolling with JBL at one point. We had the Lone Wolf. But I think it might be time for Baron to part ways with the WWE. Could I see him at Impact or AEW? Maybe, but I just think his time in the WWE has ran its course, and that's not him. If he got released, it wouldn't be a bad thing for him. You know, I think that he has enough cachet. I think he's done enough in that business in the WWE that he can do this. He can go elsewhere. Next up, we have the NXT North American title on the line in the triple threat match with the champ, Oba Fury. I believe I said his name right. This man is, I'm going to tell y'all a little story. I was talking to the Ace one day, and we were talking about this, and I said, I'm not going to lie, I was a little offended when he would come out. Because when he cut his, I remember I didn't see his entrance. I just seen when he was in the ring cutting a promo. And as he was talking, they were doing a chant. But when I heard it, my immediate reaction was, are they making gorilla sounds? And then come to find out, it is a chant. It is an African chant that they were doing. And I was glad to know that because, listen, I know us fans can be we can be disrespectful at some times, but that would have been the ultimate disrespect. I would have been pissed. But it's a chant that is within his African heritage because he is from Africa. But this man, listen, I'm a fan of his. He will be defending his North American title against Dijak and Josh Briggs. I have Oba retaining that title. I can see him holding this title for a very long time, and he can potentially win the NXT heavyweight title as well. Speaking of NXT heavyweight title, we have Dragunov defending it against Tony D'Angelo. Dragunov's title reign has been okay. I can see Tony D'Angelo winning it. Just because Dragunov's reign has been okay. But I think that he is the champ right now because they're not sure who can take the belt and be like the face of NXT. And I think Tony D'Angelo has the potential to indeed be the face of NXT until Oba decides or Trick Williams decides to take the realm or take the helm of being the face of NXT. So I got Tony D'Angelo winning this one. Next up, we have the NXT women's title on the line with Lyra Valkyrie defending her NXT title against my favorite NXT star, one of my favorites, and Roxanne Perez. The Prodigy, y'all know me. I love a heel. And when she turned heel, I loved it. Because it reminds me of like when Bayley turned heel. Because we all know Bayley was the hugger. She was the lovable fan. She was a lovable person. Everybody loved her. You see the same with Roxanne Perez. Like Roxanne Perez was a prodigy. She always came out, smiles on her face, just happy-go-lucky. And those are the best heels. The best heels are the ones that are happy-go-lucky and they turn. And once they turn, it is that heel turn that is just epic and it pisses a couple people off, but it's warrant. Do I see Roxanne winning this NXT title? Yes, but I think that it won't, I think there's more to this story that will be told. I see her winning it, and I see them going back and forth. But the match that I am the most interested in seeing, Trick Williams versus Carmelo Hayes. Now, y'all know how I feel about tag teams that separate. This is what I think the Street Profits could have been. I can see a situation with the Street Profits. This was what I think they wanted, or at least what I would have wanted the Street Profits to do, breaking up. Don't tease it. Show that there's still unity between them. But as soon as Trick got hurt, Everyone's saying, I said it was Melo. I said Melo's the one that did it. He did it. There's no, the painting was on the wall, and then the callbacks that they were doing. So they did the callback with the way Melo, once he attacked him, and when Melo came out and explained why he did it, he was paying homage to Shawn Michaels with the Rockers when he had the black boots on and all this. It was a lot of Easter eggs that was just like, yo, like this is the story that we're telling. I think the last great tag team to break up like this obviously was DIY with Ciampa and Gargano, and we seen the rivalry that they had. Arguably one of the greatest rivalries in NXT history. That's up there with the Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. And you see that. Now, if you haven't had the chance yet, before NXT, before Stand and Deliver, go back and watch the story so far of Trick Williams and Carmelo Hayes. This is exactly what I love about WWE, primarily NXT, when it comes to the delivery of their packages for their matches. This was like a 9-minute video. And you had everybody, you had CM Punk, Booker T pretty much was narrating the whole entire thing. Cody Rhodes was in there. Gargano was in there. I believe Ciampa was in there. Randy Orton was talking about it. They all were talking about the history between these two and how, you know, there's always going to be this tension. It was so amazingly put together. And then to see, I didn't even know that Trick was from Philly and he's going back home. Like, this Stand and Deliver is in his backyard. He's talking about his uncle going to be there. The build up, the package that they did for this was fucking incredible. It was literally, it's like what we clamor for with storylines like this. This is personal. This is personal. And to see this in this level that it's at, couldn't get any better. I don't think this is the last match that they're going to have. I can see this going from NXT and then moving into the main roster, but I feel like Trick is going to win this one. He's going to win the first one. And Melo is going to be hell-bent on getting his revenge, and it's going to be a trilogy. Then the rubber match is going to happen, but right now I got Trick Williams winning this match. I don't see him losing in Philly in his home. I think that there's going to be involvement in there from outside people, but at the end of the day, I got Trick Williams whooping that Trick and Carmelo Hayes. So like I said, this is not going to be a very long episode of Wrestle Talk for a preview show because they only had five matches on this card. But we all know NXT always, as their show is called, they stand and they deliver. Let me know who y'all think is going to come out victorious on Stand and Deliver in the comments below. I will probably be doing some live reactions on Instagram, so make sure you follow at RCW_podcast so you can see the reactions that I have towards this. And keep in mind, you will get a recap show of Stand and Deliver along with the WrestleMania recap show in 2 weeks. Okay? Not next Monday, but the following Monday. Okay? So, with that being said, enjoy NXT TakeOver or enjoy NXT Stand and Deliver. I'm so used to calling it a takeover because that's what it was. But enjoy NXT Stand and Deliver. Enjoy this week the biggest week of sports and entertainment of professional wrestling. I am the franchise, better known as Podcast Tribal Chief, and I am out.